Progression and camo grinding are always a huge part of the COD cycle, and today Treyarch have released another pre-game blog which covers the return of Classic Prestige as well as Weapon Mastery. With Classic Prestige returning, that means we've got the level 55 cap and Prestiges 1 through 10 to progress through, and then once we reach Prestige Masters, a further 1,000 levels to progress through and lots of rewards to unlock along the way. So for example, once we hit level 55 and Prestige for the first time, we'll see this screen which has our first Prestige emblem, and then depending on what Prestige you've just unlocked, you get a certain set of rewards. So for example, we're at Prestige 1, we obviously get the emblem, we get the Nacht Raider Weaver Operator skin which looks sick, as well as access to the Prestige 1 multiplayer and zombies calling card challenge sets and 1 permanent unlock token. And then as you're progressing through your Prestige, you'll receive additional rewards at levels 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. The rewards change per Prestige and can be viewed in the progression tab under barracks. But for example, at Prestige 1, at level 10 we get a Derice loading screen and social wallpaper. For level 20, a Perk-a-Cola Gobblegum pack which includes Perkaholic, On the House Soda Fountain, Who's Keeping Score and stock option. At level 30, a Zombie Breach animated emblem. At level 40, an insta-kill power-up charm which I think's pretty sick. And last but not least, level 50, the Teddy as Elias C9 blueprint. And then they also reveal all of the future operator skins we can expect to see for future Prestige unlocks. What's very interesting to me though is the return of the permanent unlock tokens, and they elaborate on them a little bit here in terms of what actually happens when you Prestige and how they can be used. Obviously we've seen these tokens before, so feel free to skip forward a little bit, but for those who haven't seen them before or are just interested in what they're going to do this year, when you Prestige obviously you'll be reset to level 1, but all level unlocks will be relocked and must be unlocked again except for base operators, emotes and gobblegums. Your loadouts will also be reset, and lifetime stats will remain viewable in the combat record, but the stats elsewhere in the game will only show stats for your current Prestige. However, things that won't be relocked are things like weapon progression, camos, reticles, weapon builds, challenge progress and unlocks, store and battle pass content, gobblegums as we said before, and operator and emote unlocks. As well as that, any items we have a blueprint or a skin for will remain permanently unlocked through Prestige. This means that if you've got a blueprint for the AS Val assault rifle, it won't be relocked when you Prestige. The same goes for any equipment, field upgrades or score streaks you possess skins for. So the way I interpret this is it sounds like it's going to be pay to win almost to permanently unlock items. So if the Jackal PDW is as good as it was in the beta and a skin comes out for it and we buy it, it's going to be permanently unlocked. Not too sure how to feel about that one, to be honest. I suppose it only really majorly impacts multiplayer, so as a zombies player it doesn't really concern me too much. Sticking with multiplayer now though, and your KD will actually reset every time you Prestige, which means a fresh start. Sounds like you're going to be able to get into bot lobbies for your first few games of Prestige, which is again interesting. But if you are interested in your lifelong KD, you can still view this in the barracks section, so that is still available if you're interested in that sort of stuff. It's also mentioned that for each Prestige you progress, you'll receive an increased XP bonus for completing each day's 3 daily challenges. Anyway, as we mentioned before, once you've gone through all 10 Prestiges and you're at max level, we'll enter into Prestige Master. It has 1,000 levels to progress through and a ton of rewards along the way, which we're going to take a quick look at now. The first of which, if you're not happy with the current 10 Prestige icons, you'll be glad to know that the Legacy icon sets are back. So for every 100 levels you progress through Prestige Master, you'll unlock a Prestige icon legacy set. So for example, level 100 will give you Prestige 1 icons, level 200 Prestige 2 icons, so on and so forth. And that goes all the way up to Prestige 10, and then once you reach level 1000 we can expect additional classified rewards for our incredible progress, only unlocked and redacted when we reach that level. So just from that overview we can definitely see that Treyarch's word is true. This is definitely the most rewards we've seen for a Prestige system, and honestly I'm glad it's back. But while we're trying to progress to level 1000, there's also a ton of mastery challenges we can be getting on with throughout, and this ranges from the typical camo grind all the way to calling card challenges. And yes, these do have XP rewards. So starting off with the calling cards, as usual these are split into 4 categories. We've got Career, Battle Hardened, Prestige and Dark Ops. And as we've also seen before, calling cards and their corresponding challenges are grouped into categories, and for completing each set we can expect an animated mastery calling card. And as we mentioned before, for each Prestige we progress we will be unlocking its calling card challenges. And then obviously for completing it all we've got the 100% calling cards, which looks sick. But now, and probably the main event, is the weapon camos. And before we look at the final mastery camos, which look amazing by the way, we must start at step 1, which is the military camos. And these are unlocked by reaching progressive milestones in each mode. So for multiplayer that's headshots, zombies, critical kills, and then warzone obviously eliminations. So as you can see on screen, for multiplayer we go from 5 headshots required all the way up to 100 to unlock all the military camos. Doesn't actually state, but I think it'd be a safe bet to assume that the zombies ones will be a little bit higher just because of how easy easy it is to do so. But the military camos must be unlocked individually per weapon, so they're not going to be universal. You have to complete these milestones with each weapon. And when we've done that, that takes us on to step 2, which is special camos. Each weapon has 2 unique special camo swatches per mode that can only be earned with that weapon. They can be unlocked in any order, and each has a different unlock criteria, usually related to the strengths or playstyle of the weapon you're progressing. So for example, we got the XM4 for multiplayer, and as we can see, one of the challenges is to get 30 kills shortly after sprinting. Once unlocked, special camos are universal and can be equipped to any weapon as long as the new weapon has completed the military camos and unlocked access to the special category in at least one mode. It can then be fitted with any special camo you like and can be used in any game mode. And then that takes us to the third and final step, that being the mastery camos. Before we look at how we unlock them, I think it's definitely worth taking a little bit of time and appreciation for how some of these look. Obviously we saw a little preview of some of the animated ones at COD Next, and in standard Treyarch fashion they have not disappointed. Nebula's definitely one of my favourites. Even the gold multiplayer mastery just looks beautiful. We've even got a Warzone mastery set this year, and that brings us Abyss. Anyway, mastery tier 1 starts us off with gold, and as usual we gain access to this by earning all 9 military camos and 2 special camos in the corresponding mode, and then complete the applicable camo challenge. We've got tier 2, which is diamond. This is also the same as usual. We access this by earning camo tier 1, which is gold, for the designated number of weapons in one weapon class in the corresponding mode, and then completing the applicable camo challenge. And the example they've given us here is in multiplayer, players must earn gold camo on 7 assault rifles before they gain access to the diamond camo challenge on those weapons. For tier 3 we've got dark spine and afterlife. We can access these by earning mastery camo tier 2 or diamond for the designated number of weapons across multiple weapon classes in the corresponding mode, and then completing obviously the applicable camo challenge. In the example they've given, a multiplayer player must earn a diamond camo on 33 weapons, the number of launch weapons in BO6, before they gain access to the dark spine camo challenge. And then last but not least, for tier 4 we've got dark matter, nebula and abyss. And similar to the others, we gain access to this by completing mastery camo tier 3 for the designated number of weapons across multiple classes in the corresponding mode, and then completing the applicable camo challenge. For example, in multiplayer we must earn dark spine camo on 33 weapons before gaining access to the dark matter camo challenge on those weapons. And just like military camos, mastery camos must be unlocked individually with each weapon, and once unlocked can only be used with that weapon. Also returning, as we know already, are the Reticle Challenges. We'll fly over these. There's 10 reticles to unlock in each mode, that's multiplayer, zombies and Warzone. They're unlocked by getting kills while aiming down sight and are applicable to the optic rather than the weapon, which means we can get kills with any weapon and it progresses the optic. Reticles are also universal, so if you find a zombie's reticle that you like, you can equip it in multiplayer and vice versa. Reticle colours also return, which is awesome. Then finally, the return of mastery badges, which also grants us some additional XP. Each weapon and piece of gear has its own multiplayer and zombies mastery badge journey, providing of course that the item appears in both modes. Each item has 3 badge tiers, the first being bronze, badge 2 being silver, and the mastery badge being gold, and it comes with a stat tracker. There is also a diamond badge which you can unlock by getting the mastery badge for the required number of item types in each badge category. All mastery badges will automatically receive a diamond badge upgrade with a healthy XP bonus. For example, in multiplayer we can earn diamond badges for the score streak category by earning gold mastery badges with 18 score streaks, which is the number of score streaks available at launch, and these badges can be shown off in the showcase in your social menu. By default, the top 3 badges you've earned will be equipped, but you can also select them manually. Additionally, any badges you select will be displayed whenever you're present in the winner's circle at the end of multiplayer matches, as well as the badge of the killing weapon being shown off in kill cams. And that's all the main points from this blog. I'll leave a link to it down in the description if you want to have a further look yourself, but I'm very much looking forward to the grind this year.